Our adventure begins with our two heroes of the story, GeAngelo and Dary. They were the two best of friends. They did everything together. And you could say that GeAngelo was like a big brother to Dary, even though Dary was a much bigger person in stature, in brains, intelligence, size of, well, you know what we're saying. Anyways, they were the best of friends. And they had just come off of this outrageous adventure that they had together where they learned so much about one another. But little did they know that their adventure was just beginning. It was a dark and cold Christmas Eve night, and the two heroes had very little knowledge, probably no knowledge, of what was coming their way that evening. They would be visited by 10 ghosts of racist past. Excuse me, did you just say racist paths? No, you imbecile, I said of races past. You are just over there holding the microphone stand, so stay over there and let me finish. Like I said, they would be visited by 10 ghosts of races past. And what these ghosts would show them would shock them to the core and change their lives forever.
From as early as he could remember, GeAngelo's secret dream was to become a real little boy. GeAngelo was part tiger, part panther, and part steeler, but lacked the heart and brains to be a real boy. He loved to dress up and cosplay, often pretending to be a boy. GeAngelo disliked sharing, and he loved to make fun of his beloved friend Dary. Always poke, 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 and take, take, take. He mistakenly thought that loyalty and kindness didn't matter. Instead, he thought that if he ran fast enough and hard enough, one day that would make him a real boy. Dary, on the other hand, was perfect in every way. He was patient, passionate, and an amazing steel pan player. Dary's only downfall, ironically, was that he was lactose intolerant. Still, he ate massive amounts of cheese, which made GeAngelo angry because the pair spent a lot of time in small enclosed spaces. From the moment Dary's eyes first locked with GeAngelo's, Dary knew that GeAngelo was special. From GeAngelo's teeny feet to his big toothy grin, Dary loved every inch of GeAngelo. Dary believed that with enough sweet, gentle TLC, he could turn GeAngelo into a man.
And so, on this cold, blustering December night, GeAngelo and Dary are visited by the ghost of Chi-Hu, who for the past few weeks have wandered the earth, pointlessly hopping from country to country because they believed the world was waiting. The ghost was burdened by heavy chains made of watermelons, glass bottles, and toy babies, representing a lifetime of switched detours and failed roadblocks. The ghost of Chi-Hu tells GeAngelo and Dary they have one chance to avoid the same fate. They will be visited by 9 more spirits and must take heed, or else be cursed forever.
Bye, Hung. Bye, Chi. Isn't it funny that Dary and DeAngelo had no clue as to our secret alliance the entire time? Ha 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 ha. Okay, I'm a ghost. The second ghost team of Racist Pass are the grisly ghosts of the Bearded Bros, visiting you on this chilly and ominous evening. Riley, the shorter one, will not be joining us as he has departed back to the cursed detour of Paraguay, where the watermelon tower of Dary and DeAngelo has still not been approved by the judge and is finishing the job for them. Now, I remember first meeting you two in the late fall, early winter of the year 2018. Dary, what a nice, large fellow you are. And I do not think I was mistaken when I said you were an offensive lineman, because you certainly played the steel drums like one. No rhythm, I pity you. And DeAngelo, I did recognize you by your dreads, but was too embarrassed because I didn't know who you were. So I waited for someone to tell me. I think it was Frank or Jerry. Now, speaking of your pink and dark dreadlocks, DeAngelo, they do rekindle a distinct memory, or perhaps rather a potent stench that lingers in my memory. The cream from the city of Chantilly seeped into your dreadlocks and soured into a smell I cannot even describe. Maybe you were aware of it, maybe not. Dary definitely was. But possibly that was the undoing of our so-called Mine 5. Yet through the battles on the race, autos trying to be taken from one another, princes on tablets peeked over, and lack of details not shared by both parties, we, as the second ghosts of races past, do consider you fond friends. That being said, Riley and I were going to U-turn you guys in Cambodia, but saw you right behind us and said if we U-turn them, there's a good chance that they're going to throw us into the Crocodile River or whatever the fuck that place was called. So in the end, the ghosts of the Bearded Bros leave Dary and DeAngelo with this, that you shall be visited by 8 more spirits and must take heed or else be cursed forever. P.S. Dary and DeAngelo, I'm still pissed I had to drink non-alcoholic beer during the beer yoga detour because of you two. Unforgivable. And now, we leave you.
The grisly ghost of Beard Bro Madison vanishes as Dary and GeAngelo's Christmas Eve continue to bring one surprise after another.
A flash of rainbows illuminate the room as 2 glowing ghosts flew down from the winner's circle.
Jill and Wames, master of stopping time for 20 minutes and U-turning fate, stopped Dary and GeAngelo in their tracks.
Hey, babe, look who we have here,
said Wames. Oh my gosh, babe, it's Dary and GeAngelo. Hey, boys,
said Jill. Dary and GeAngelo were instantly seduced by their charming personalities and eccentric purple pizzazz, leaving them speechless.
You're probably wondering why we're here,
said Jill. Babe, I'm a bit confused as to why we're here too, since we already won the million,
said Wames. It's because Dary and GeAngelo need some help from some real men,
said Jill.
Dary and GeAngelo begged and pleaded Jill and Wames to teach them their ways.
Jill and Wames pondered on what to do, finally offering Dary and GeAngelo the choice to either go back and redo their journey or only eat sauerkraut for the rest of their lives.
Because GeAngelo wanted to be just like Chuck Norris, the king of German cuisine, the pair chose to forever eat nothing but sauerkraut.
Despite their choice, Dary and GeAngelo would never receive any powers nor advantages from Jill and Wames.
Before they could continue on this journey, they had to get some much-needed slumber. GeAngelo slept so hard, dreaming of the rainbows and glitter surrounding Jill and Wames, that his gnarly snoring had awoken the 4th ghosts of racers past.
And we appreciate you for tuning in to Serve the Story. Tune in next week to find out what happens next. You are now listening to the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast featuring DeAngelo Williams and Gary Barnage. You push play and they'll push the limits.